Good morning, everyone. Justice Rajani Garu, Vimla Garu, Wahid, and the other dignitaries on the dais, and the audience who have come from all over the country. I was asked to speak in English for the benefit of all the delegates who have come from outside Telangana and Andhra. At the outset, I think I owe a duty to congratulate the organizers for taking a wonderful initiative of organizing a national seminar on a contemporaneous subject like this, right to choose. I've been trying to consolidate my thoughts on this. When I'm trying to uphold the right of a person to make his choice, suddenly my grandson comes to my mind, who says that everything is his choice. Small example, I put him in a school which is a very reputed school and which is known for its best studies and best personality development. After the first term, he comes back and says that the school is average. He writes in his letter that this is the best and the worst school. So the conflict between making a choice and the conflict between the other side who has certain concerns for the choices that are made within the family. This is the biggest challenge. Actually, I thought that the arrangement of the sessions would be in such a way that we'll have a close proximity, that we can have an interactive session, because I'm always keen on having a micro level discussions. The speeches that we deliver here are at the macro level, a little far from the reality, a little far from the practicality rather. Firstly, I'm interested to know how many of you think that the right to choose is an absolute right. Raise the voices. So all the hands which have risen up would also think that every right is an absolute right. Is it? A fundamental right is an absolute right. Is it? So for all those who have raised hands saying that a right to choose an absolute right, I think I should comment that they don't have the entire glimpse of the Constitution, where beside the fundamental rights chapter, there is a reasonable restrictions also, which is very important. So we have been nurtured saying that your right of exercising freedom ends at the tip of the nose of the other person. Is it true? Or shall we go beyond the tips of the noses of the other persons and exercise our right of freedom? How many of you now agree that right to freedom is not an absolute right? Very few hands. You still think that right to freedom is an absolute right? That you can go beyond the noses of other persons and exercise your right? That there should not be any reasonable restrictions on your rights? Reasonable restrictions is as important an article, as important as the fundamental right of right to freedom and right to life also. Likewise, right to choose is also not an absolute right. It has certain restrictions. When your right to choice is going to affect the public interest, it's definitely not an absolute right. When the right of a Muslim to marry another woman when a wife is alive is not an absolute right. At least now we recognize it as not an absolute right. Understand? So this is how I think we have to balance between the rights and the concerns of the society and concerns of certain people who also have a responsibility of shaping your personality, the responsibility of nurturing your thoughts. That's why I started with an example of my grandson. So now I have a responsibility of making a choice on his behalf, whether to continue in that school or to bring to another school. whether his perception of good and bad is right or wrong. Should I accept that his perception of right and wrong is absolutely correct? Does he have the age to understand what is right and what is wrong? Maybe he has certain acumen which makes him understand which is right and wrong. But can I treat it as an absolute at this stage of his life? I was put in boarding school at my age of 5 years, not even my age of discretion. I used to curse my parents day in and day out for putting me in a residential school, but now I praise them. So how do we decide? So these are the conflicts which have been boggling. That's the reason why I could not consolidate my thoughts on this right to choice. We have been nurtured with the help of our scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, which support this Varna Dharma. They give a very beautiful color to it, saying that Varna Dharma is actually based on guna and karma, which are qualities and actions. So they say that this Varna is recognized only based on the qualities and based on the actions. And they cite the examples of Vedavyas or Vidura, who have been recognized, who have been given equal respect as that of Brahmins. That is what they say. True. Any person who has that expertise, who has that proficiency, who has that scholarship is recognized. Even now we come across certain examples where we respect certain people. Take for example Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Though he is from a Shudra community, he was respected because of his acumen and thought. But do we accept them as a part of Brahmin community? Is Ambedkar accepted as part of Brahmin community in spite of he being superior than any of the best Brahmins? No. So why are we taking help of the scriptures which support this Varna Dharma, saying that we recognize it based on the karma and guna? Are we converting them? Are you recognizing those people who have these qualities and guna and converting them into higher caste? We are not doing that. We are paying only lip service to them. So taking help of the scriptures to normalize our stereotypic understandings is the more atrocious act that is going on in the society now. We have to identify this. We have to identify this conspiracy. It's very sweet. They put it in a very sweet capsules and give it to us so that we unmindfully try to swallow it. It appears very beautiful, but unless you think about it in a micro level, you will not actually understand the conspiracy behind these scriptures. The scriptures are the best instruments for the people who wants that ideology to be permeated into the society. So right to choice is not an absolute right, but as said by one of our speakers, I think Mr. Naresh Garu, we have to transform the society where each individual can think properly, where each child is nurtured with a proper thought, with a rational thought. We have, as a part of our constitution, improving the scientific temper. Where are we? Are we doing it? What is the scientific temper that the governments are injecting into the minds of the children? They teach constitution in one class, and here they teach Telugu class saying that the world is, the globe is like a mat and somebody folded it and put it on his shoulder. These conflicts that are there in our education system right from the childhood are taking children away from this scientific thought. We are not serious enough to implement our constitution to make children understand what is scientific temper at all. They don't have that courage, they don't have that commitment towards the implementation of our constitution. So when such is the state of affairs, it's the duty of the organizations that have gathered here to make the society understand that we are seriously bent upon making the people understand the niceties of the rights that we have, the niceties of the rights that the Constitution has. So I hope and wish that this one day seminar is going to achieve at least